Today, I want to talk about 7 ways to save hundreds of dollars a month. Since you clicked on this video in the first place, I presume that you already take your money seriously. You're already kind of responsible with it, and I hope that this video will help to spark some ideas about things that you can do in your life, regardless of your income level or perhaps even your socioeconomic status. Some of these tips, they of course depend on how big your household is. And obviously, income is a largely limiting factor. These are 7 tips that work for me and I think are pretty adaptable all across the board. When it comes to wanting to save hundreds of dollars a month, it's good to know where that money is being spent in the first place and what categories would be wise to cut down on. I tracked my spending for the last 2 years and I discovered that I spend an excessive amount on eating out. That's one of the examples. I know that that's an area that I can cut down in. There's a tip in this video about that. Just track your spendings for at least a month and see where most of your money is going, because a lot of those purchases, you might not even be aware of how much money you're throwing out the window. To kick things off, let's get a big elephant that's standing in the room out of the way. Just want to throw out the most obvious piece of advice, and that is to not buy shit you don't need. I heard this YouTuber once talk about the fact that when she thinks back many years ago about where all her money went, she can't remember most of the stuff that she bought, which is so true for a lot of us. Think back to like a year, 2 years. What is an object that you purchased that really enhanced the quality of your life? Just saying, it's something to think about, okay? One of the ways that I'm selective, about the word selective, I'm by no means a minimalist. From this background alone, you can tell I'm not a minimalist. I would consider myself a strategic minimalist, perhaps. I try to use the things that I have and I try to not buy things that don't spark joy. This is a very popular concept propagated by none other than Marie Kondo, about how you should surround yourself with items that genuinely spark a sense of joy within you, whether that is clothes or perhaps your decorations. After all, your environment does impact how you feel and how productive you are, and in general, your quality of life. As an example, that painting right there has been one of my favorite items that's ever been in my family home. Every time that I have seen it as a kid, it brought me joy, it sparked some kind of inspiration in me, and when my mom wanted to throw it out, I was the first one to put up my hand and say, I'm taking that painting. Tip number 2 might sound a little bit wacky to some people, depending on their personal needs and use of the internet. But one of the life hacks that I have discovered is simply to buy a phone plan with unlimited data. If you're doing something that requires a fast and stable, reliable internet connection, such as streaming or real-time trading or something like that, yeah, you would need to invest in good internet. But if you're mostly doing tasks that are offline, like maybe you're working on Word, Excel, PowerPoint, whatever, checking emails, receiving emails, doing video editing, uploading shorter videos, you could very well get away with just using a hotspot. And that could save you in the neighborhood of like 40 to 50 bucks, which isn't that much, but it's a starting point, which is good. If you're in the need for stable or fast internet, download or upload something at work or at a cafe or maybe at a friend's house if they have unlimited Wi-Fi. You're there to spend good time with them anyway. It's not really mooching. It's just like, hey man, can I upload this thing real quick while we're talking? Tip number 3 is to invest in good groceries over eating out. I used to be quite prone to buying a bunch of groceries at once and having a lot of groceries go bad, buying stuff that I just never used. It would sit in my cupboard for months. Since moving into this new place, I have a new strategy, and that is to buy groceries in a lean way. So I only buy groceries that I know are going to last me for about a week. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be good. I'm going to really enjoy eating them. I'm going to look forward to eating them. Even though good groceries could definitely get pricey, and especially healthy food items can get really pricey too, in the long term, it's still better for your body. It's going to keep you satiated for longer, and it will even reduce cravings. You can also find healthier alternatives to cravings, which essentially will add up to near or less the price that you're currently paying. But in the long term, it's going to be better for your body and mental health and your wallet, because you're just going to be less prone to going through the drive-through since your body is being fueled well. Tip number 4 relates mainly to my beautiful ladies, and that is to invest in fewer temporary beauty treatments. See how long you can make your beauty treatments last. So for example, think about the difference of getting your nails done every 2 weeks versus every 4 to 5 weeks. Yeah, it could look kind of busted at the end, but not that many people are thinking about it, trust me. You can groom between sessions while everything hasn't grown over. I'm talking about like eyebrows, for example. Let's say that you get your eyebrows done every 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe you can skip one of the times that you get it done because you kind of clean it up midway through. Just clean it up a bit before you have to go in for your next treatment, and you would have saved like $20 right there. Tip number 5 is to cancel your gym membership if you don't use the gym consistently, or if you don't go as consistently as you would like, and find something that you really genuinely enjoy. In the book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi, there is a very good point that changed my perspective about the gym. Let's say your gym membership costs $40 a month. You got it at the start of the year when you were super motivated, and then you ended up going only 2 or 3 times every month. That's $13 to $20 per session. At that rate, you might as well sign up for an activity that's genuinely gonna whip you into shape, because there are a lot of fitness classes that are around at that price point, which would just be a better use of your money. When it comes to fitness, we're talking about investing in your body for the long term and about the value that you're getting for every dollar spent. Tip number 6 is to use your appliances less. Since I started buying groceries that are tasty on their own and that don't require to be heated up, they're more paleo friendly, I have significantly reduced how much I use my stove and my microwave. Going back to my first point about kind of reducing clutter around your house and buying things that genuinely spark joy, if you have a lot of dishes in your house, you're going to be more inclined to reach for a new clean dish or a clean utensil. And ultimately, all those dishes are going to pile up. It's going to drive up your water bills, your dishwasher bills. So using your appliances less and using less dishes is also a way to save hundreds of bucks every month. And finally, the last tip relates to social life. Find alternatives that are free or cheap with your friends. There are plenty of creative and fun things to do at home on a Friday or Saturday night. Maybe you could invite everybody over for a potluck. You could ask everybody to bring a board game that they enjoy, and everyone will get to experience a new board game and have fun for relatively cheap. If you feel like doing something recreational, like maybe going to the pool or going skiing, oftentimes these recreational facilities will have deals for the last 2 hours. They might have like 50% off if you come in after 3 because we close at 5. See if your community amenity spaces have these kinds of deals. If it works for your schedule, try to plan your time around those windows. And I think everybody will appreciate doing the same fun activity at a lower price. If you like going out to concerts or events, Facebook has a bunch of groups and a bunch of events that are often free or cheap. This could include festivals, farmers markets, conventions, society meetups, meetup groups. There are a bunch of Facebook groups out there. Just get on them and explore what's in your city. That brings me to the end of this video. If you found any of these tips helpful, consider subscribing. And best of luck to you. Stay on the grind and you'll get there.